Alright guys, what's going on? Reaction Exchange here at the WODTV segment. It's Halloween season. I've barely dropped any videos for you guys. I deeply apologize, but Christmas season should be filled with so much. So be prepared. I will be starting in November as well. So let's do this. Today we're going to check out, okay, so one of the scariest things that to this day, that I think is scary is the case of Lizzie Borden. Um, I can't believe I'm watching this at like freaking almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm dumb. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's for the fans. Uh, yeah, just check out the Lizzie Borden story. It's insane. Um, I still don't think she did it. People are saying that she did it, but yet then a lot of people don't think that she did it. Although we weren't all living back then, so we don't know, But I don't think she did it, honestly. I think she was innocent, but who knows? Just read the story is horrifying. There's also a movie about it as well. Make sure you check that out. Uh, let's just get into this. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. Do me a favor, hit that like button below, hit that subscribe button below, hit that notification bell so whenever I drop something, you'll be notified instantly. Let's go. You will not see my face during this. You'll only hear my voice, so I will be commentating. Okay. So let's get into this. Like someone's on intro or something.
On a summer day in 1892, a brutal double murder shook the small town of Fall River, Massachusetts. The victims...
Oh, 1892. Okay. Oh no, I thought it was 1893 for some reason. Maybe I'm tripping. I gotta plug my laptop in soon. Because this is not gonna. Oh, give it a minute, guys. It's clearly buffering for some reason. Don't know why. I give it a few minutes to go through whatever it needs to go through. Here we go.
Andrew and Abby Borden, and the prime suspect was their own daughter, Lizzie. Despite being acquitted of the crimes, the case remains one of the most puzzling and controversial in American criminal history. Join us as we delve into the evidence.
Quite scary, too. Very scary. I gotta plug my laptop in. See, even watching this story is messing with my laptop. Come on. Come on. Let me see something. Okay. Maybe it's the. I'm sorry, guys. Give me one moment.
Re-examine the testimony and try to uncover the truth behind the Lizzie Borden murders.
Okay, this is...
Lizzie Borden took an...
Okay, come on.
And gave her father 40 weeks. When she realized what she'd done, she handed her mother 41. You may have heard this nursery rhyme before. It may be the only information you have on the Borden murders. There is, nonetheless, an issue. Every word of it is incorrect. Andrew Borden didn't feel very great. He and his family had been ill with poisoning for the previous 2 nights. This morning, when he began to feel somewhat better, he decided to go to work. At 9 a.m., he left home and walked to the post office, barber, bank where he works, another bank to withdraw cash, and a building he owns. Following that, he returned home, arriving at about 10:45. Before settling down for sleep, he chats with his daughter, Lizzie. He wouldn't get up again. We do not know what the man was like, but he stuck to a strict moral code. The Borden family did not live in squalor because he refused to purchase contemporary luxuries, but he was economical and sometimes stubborn. The Borden family name was prominent in Fall River. Since the Bordens were a founding family of the city, all Bordens were initially rich for many generations.
Oh, so they were
This
rich.
was the case until the Bordens split a few generations before Andrew's birth. After that, the old money Bordens resided in the affluent neighborhood of the Hill, while the middle-class Bordens lived elsewhere. Notable is that having old money was highly significant socially. New money was not as regarded or welcomed in upper-class circles. Andrew was termed new money because he was a businessman born with comparatively little wealth and built himself up from scratch. Lizzie and Emma were perfectly integrated and free to come and go as they pleased. Why they were never married is unknown, but it does not imply that Andrew never permitted it. It may indicate that he supported their desire to remain single and did not compel them to marry. The daughters received a generous monthly allowance and could find employment if desired. We do not know precisely how Lizzie could finance a lavish trip to Europe a few years before the murders, but it seems likely that Andrew paid for it for her 30th birthday. The fact that he could afford power yet refused to have it is a recurring theme, but what is often overlooked is that Andrew Borden built gas heating, running water, and a toilet for his daughters. There is also an indication that he was considering purchasing a larger home, however. Furthermore, they owned a summer residence for Christ's sake. Andrew Borden was a nice guy, although stern and not pleasant. He enjoyed the comfort of others. In 1893, electricity was beginning to become more prevalent, but it was by no means a requirement. Power installation was incredibly costly and time-consuming. Therefore, if he were searching for a bigger home, it would not make sense for him to go to the trouble of putting electricity in his existing home. A person's financial status does not oblige them to purchase the latest technology. In reality, it was the act of spending money on another individual angered the Borden sisters. Sarah Whitehead, Abby's half-sister, could not maintain her home for a considerable period before the killings. I believe Andrew's response to this reveals much about his personality. He purchased the home so she could continue to reside there. Emma and Abby had been at odds for decades since Abby and Andrew tied the knot. Sarah, the mother of Emma and Lizzie, passed away 2 years before Andrew were married. Emma never recognized Abby as a mother figure, although Lizzie did, despite being only 5 years old. Emma was around 13 years old, thus it may have been a persistent adolescent trait. We do not know much about Andrew's personality, but we know even less about Abby. She had few acquaintances, but cherished her somewhat younger stepsister. However, we have some context cues. Abby was not wealthy. In reality, she was pretty impoverished when she married Andrew. It was not a marriage made in heaven. Andrew was all about his early business years at their wedding and would not have amassed much cash. There is enough evidence to show that it was a romantic relationship. They just appreciated one another's company. When Emma disliked Abby from the start, and through the years, Lizzie absorbed her dislike as well. Lizzie looked to Emma for counsel like she would a mother. Therefore, she often followed Emma's lead. The sisters disliked Andrew's treatment of Sarah Whitehead as if she were another daughter. Therefore, it wasn't about the house when he gave her the home. It wasn't even that he didn't spend enough money on them. It was the fact that he was showing her paternal affection that they believed they deserved. In reaction to this, Andrew gave them a home. After a few months, Lizzie and Emma decided they did not appreciate it, and he sold the property back to himself. Really? After this occurrence, the situation would be very stressful. Lizzie began referring to Abby as Mrs. Borden. Both sisters avoided being in the same room with her. Occasionally, they would go to see friends or have their meals in different rooms. They just disliked her presence. She was incapable of doing anything correctly in their eyes. On the afternoon of August 3rd, John Morse knocked on the front door of the Borden residence and requested a couple of nights' lodging. He was required to attend a business meeting. The Bordens lacked a telephone, so he could not contact them to request a stay. John Morse was the brother of Andrew's first wife, and they were reportedly very close. John was always invited to visit the Borden residence. Many Borden conspiracy theorists are intrigued by this arrival, but it may have been entirely random. John had nothing to gain by killing the Bordens, and his alibi is amusing. The whole Borden family was ill. The cause of their food poisoning is unknown. We will begin in the morning. I discussed Andrew's morning activities at the outset, so let's move on to the actions of others. Notably, if you like to watch the precise facts reenacted, the Lizzie Borden film from 1975 is a good option. It is available for free on YouTube. John Morse would have breakfast and leave at the same time as Andrew, around 9 a.m. after spending most of the day across town. He boarded a train with 6 priests at 11:20 p.m. and headed back home. Abby requested Bridget to wash the windows that day inside the home. Bridget said that she continued to feel terrible, but Abby persisted, so Bridget complied.
All right, I'm stopping right there, guys. Yeah, when it comes down to this story, which is a true story, by the way, all you could do is just. It's so haunting to watch, and I always try to avoid watching it, but I figured I'd do it this time. Yeah, I'm just gonna